So exactly like the title says, what do you do when you quit or reduce gaming? Now, the reason that this comes up is because games take up a lot of time, just like any other big, long, expensive hobby. Now, the reason I wanted to bring this up was because I was driving home today. I was like, what do I do if I don't play a game today? What should I do? What should I focus on? And I was like, hey, maybe you're struggling with the same thing, and hopefully this video gives you some sort of insight. This is also a free announcement. I have literally nothing to tell you. What it is a free school community where I help gamers reduce gaming and pretty much improve their life. If you're interested in that, then go to the link in the description, click on that, join. It's free. It used to be paid, but right now it's free for the first 50 people. So go join that, talk to me, talk to other people that join, and improve your life outside of gaming. So there's a thing called a coping mechanism, right? I'm just gonna write MEC for short. In our life called a coping mechanism, which pretty much means that you're gonna say you're at your job and you want to go home and work on your, let's say, your business, or you want to go to the gym, or you want to go home and you want to spend time with your partner, whether it's your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it is. But when you go home from your job or school or whatever, you end up doing this other thing, which, if we grab another color, this is what you want to do and you're just pretty much not doing it. And you go home from your job and you go home and you either game, you do the McWee, or you do the Netflix, you do the corn, or you do the YouTube. Oftentimes you're going to go and say to yourself, I'm going to go home from my job and work on one of these key 3 things that I want to do because I want to do it pretty much. But you end up doing these 3 things, which are not really significant, but you end up doing them anyway. Then doing these causes you to either be one of 2 things. You're either going to be happy, or you're going to simply just be sad because you end up going on the thing that you didn't want to do. You're going to be one of these 2 particular feelings, because if you went home and you did this, or you went home and you did the thing that you shouldn't have done but you did it anyway. Now here's why it happens. So there's a thing in your brain, like I said, called a coping mechanism. And how does it work? There's a scientist, I forget his name. It would pretty much be pleasure principle. We'll just write PLEA for short. Pain, pleasure, principle. So if you have these things and you got gaming, you got Netflix, you got YouTube, corn, and you've got just pure procrastination. You got all of these things, right? And you don't feel good doing them, but you end up doing them. These things you end up doing, but what happens is when you do them, nothing bad really happens. So the outcome of these is it's okay, because I'm not sad when I do them, so it's fine. However, after you finished, you're gonna feel more sad and you're gonna have tears in your eyes. Here you feel okay. Here you just feel really, really sad because you didn't do the things that you simply want to do. This is pleasure, but the outcome of it is pain. So when you want to do hard things like gym, you want to work on your business, you want to create content, productive in life. If you want to go to gym, work on your business, make content and be productive, what happens is you end up going to this. Now, because doing this here is harder than this, because pleasure goes towards these things, but pain is essentially associated to these things, because this is easier than this. This might not be the right thing, but your brain knows that doing gaming or whatever is easier than making a YouTube video. So the way to alleviate this is you need to alleviate this with more pain than the thing that you need to do, like work on your content business, whatever it may be. So you need to associate more pain with this. So if you've got a partner, this works fairly well. You don't need a partner, but every time you end up trying to do this or this or this, pretty much anything that that is positive, then literally either $50, whatever amount of money is, it doesn't matter. $50 goes into an account where you just can't touch it, or your partner can pretty much use it, or you have to spend $50 on something stupid that you don't want to spend it on, like fast food when you need to buy fast food, for example. So each time you do one of these bad things, you have to put $50 away. I don't like black coffee. I like coffee with milk and sugar because apparently that's a very baby thing. So for me, what you could do, or I could do, is every time I do this, when I know I should be doing this, I could go make black coffee and force myself to drink it because I hate it. So therefore, every time I do this without doing this first, this essentially becomes more painful. So what I'm trying to get at is, it's painful because I put a massive roadblock, which for me would be doing something like getting rid of $50 or getting myself to drink black coffee because I hate it. And I would only reward myself with this once I've done this. So after a while, what happens is these were previously hard, and now this went from a little bit of pain to extreme pain. So it went from pleasure, because this is fun, it went from pleasure to pain, because I have to get rid of $50 or I have to drink black coffee. Then now, because I need to drink black coffee, for me this just becomes entirely worthless to me. So now this hard thing, because I can't do this but fun stuff without doing this, and there's consequences, like I said, for black coffee and blah blah blah. So now this went from hard to now rewarding, if I can spell correctly. It went to rewarding because I know if I do this difficult thing, I can get to do this thing and I don't have to go through the pain of losing $50 drinking black coffee. And then it becomes rewarding, and once it becomes rewarding, eventually you will see that it's paying off, and therefore it eventually becomes pleasure. What I am getting at in this entire thing is you have to do a little bit of soul searching. I know it sounds a little bit gay. We can't use that word, but I'm going to use that word anyway because you guys aren't little children. The way you turn your quitting or reducing games from a coping mechanism from a pain to pleasure principle is you need to find what you need to do outside of work, no matter whether it's hard or easy. So that might be working on your business, going to the gym, seeking or being with your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it is, instead of doing fun things like gaming, eating junk food, all that sort of stuff, all the bad stuff you know you shouldn't be doing but you are doing. And you got to keep in mind the pain pleasure principle, which once again, it's from happy to sad, pain, pleasure. Associate pain with doing the fun things that you know you shouldn't be doing, so make it more difficult. For me or you, it could be putting away $50 into an account where you can't touch, but your partner might be able to touch it, or just put it into an account, or put it into your debt if you have debt. And if you don't want to link that, you can link something else that you don't like. Me, black coffee. So black coffee then makes this very difficult, therefore I have to do these things outside of my job. And once I get these things done, then I can reward myself, which is pleasurable, to work on these things that are now fun. So if this made sense, hopefully it did, and we'll see you guys next time. Hopefully it helped. If you have any questions or whatever, also join the School community because it's free for 50 people.